This is the Louie T Network.
See, first come the preseason, and I don't take a day off. And then my team was 6-10, and we ain't smell the playoffs. Yeah, I seen the Super Bowl, but I heard they just play balls. A lot of teams had injuries. Sam Bradford had to take off. Go hard in the offseason, but you don't know the half. Before you know, we gon' look up, and we ready for the draft. They dressed up in that suit top, and I don't know how to act. They waiting, so patient, so they can put on that hat. Who else could it be? But your man Luke. Okay, so when she asks you where you was at, you tell her you in the lab room. Who else could it be? Who? But your man Luke. Okay, so when she asks where you was at, you can tell her you was in the lab room. Yeah.
Who else could it be? For me, your man. Louie T, welcome. You are in the lab room. Of course, I'm your host, Lou. Thank you for joining me. Thursday night football, week number 8 in the National Football League. New England Patriots at the crib taking on the Miami Dolphins. AFC East family business. You know how this goes. If those two teams say they ain't did it, then they ain't did it. But if they did, well, that's family business. So, if this is not your business, I asked you to kindly stay out. Patriots looking to cool off the Dolphins. They've come off 2 huge wins against the AFC South, blowouts against the Titans and the Texans in respective weeks. I wasn't buying what the Dolphins were selling, and it was impressive, I must say. Normally when you make an in-season change at the head coaching position, it doesn't yield you dividends, especially immediately like they did for the Dolphins. But I must say that it was very impressive. But when you play the Titans and the Texans in respective weeks and do what they did to those teams, I'm not impressed because that entire division is garbage. So I said, okay, if you're serious, Dan Campbell, if you're serious, I'm not asking you to win this game. No, you're not going into Foxborough and winning, okay? I can assure you of that. Jets tried last week and they're better than you are, and they fell short. I'm asking you to do what the Jets did last week, though. I am going to ask you to do that. Be competitive for 4 quarters, scare the Patriots, show them that you are game and this is not a joke. I challenged them to do that in this game. I didn't think they would be able to. I actually was talking to a buddy of mine earlier in the day, and he said, man, what you think about this Thursday night game tonight? I said the Patriots are going to destroy the Dolphins. Dolphins are going to get their asses whooped in this game. He said, really? Man, I got a couple of friends coming over to the crib. We're going to watch this game. It's going to be good. I said, let me save you 3 hours. I can tell you how this is going to go. Patriots are going to win this game. It's not going to be close. Patriots came out, Gronk established himself early. He wasn't as dominant as he was last week with the Jets game with 11 catches, but he made his impact felt early with the big 47-yard touchdown grab to kind of set the tone as to what was going to go down in this game. I thought that Dion Lewis screen on 3rd and 16 for 17 yards was a tempo setter, and that's what he was in this game. And Dion Lewis for me is a big pickup because when Brady's at his best, and I don't know if he's ever had a time in his tenure in New England where he hasn't had a pass-catching back. Whether it was in the early days, Kevin Falk passed that torch on to Shane Vereen, who's now passed that torch on to Dion Lewis. He's always had someone that could catch the football out of the backfield. And if you look around the league, look at all the quarterbacks and when they've been at their best. Drew Brees was at his best when he had Darren Sproles. Phillip Rivers was at his best when he had Darren Sproles. Brady has always been a top-notch quarterback when he has had the services of some sort of pass-catching back out of the backfield, and that continues with Dion Lewis. I've been a Dion Lewis fan for a very long time. I thought he was underrated and underused in Philadelphia. I thought he was going to get his chance to shine in Cleveland. He was having a hell of a preseason the year that he tore his ACL and missed the rest of the season. He was tearing it up. He was going to be a great weapon in Cleveland, gets injured, they release him. He ends up in New England. He's got new life, and you see how talented this kid is. He was that way at Pitt. He was that way in Philadelphia. He was going to be that way in Cleveland. Now he's getting a chance, and he's showing everyone what he can do. And I think he's found himself a home. Patriots know what they have. They locked this man up to a 2-year deal, and they realize they're going to use the hell out of him. They're probably going to have him outperform his contract. That's why they signed him so quickly. And when you've never made money in the league, as Dion Lewis hasn't, you're going to sign your name on that dotted line because you want that money. But he's going to outperform that contract. This guy's going to be huge in this Patriots offense, and he was huge in this game. The defense played well. I thought the Dolphins didn't execute. Ryan Tannehill was not as sharp. I actually thought he started the game relatively sharp, some good throws to Rashard Matthews to start the game, but then his play kind of tapered off and tailed off. They couldn't get the running game established with Lamar Miller, who had a huge day last week against the Texans. Could not duplicate that in this game, and I thought the Patriots were able to make them one-dimensional, then tee off on Ryan Tannehill. That safety hurt because up until that point in the game, I really thought the defense of the Dolphins were really keeping them in the game. That safety hurt, made it a 2-possession game at that point. From that point on, I really thought the tide turned in the favor of the Patriots, and they started to kind of build momentum, and they ran away with the game after that point. But I really feel like the Dolphins defensively did some good things. They got Brady off the spot. Even though he threw for over 300 yards in this game, they got pressure on him consistently. The offense just didn't help them in this game. And the sad part about it is, now Cameron Wake has an Achilles injury. I'm hoping it's not a tear. I'm just hoping it's a strain and he'll be fine. But that's not good because he was coming on. He had a sack in this game. Your offense isn't good enough to carry this football team. You're going to need the defense to step up. And to me, Cameron Wake is your most explosive defensive football player. If he's no longer in the lineup, that's going to change this team exponentially moving forward. So let's hope that that's not a big injury. But Patriots dominate this game. Brady over 300 yards passing. Dion Lewis over 100 yards receiving. They did what it is they do at home. Win 36-7. I tried to save my friend 3 hours of his life by telling him that this was going to be a blowout. He didn't listen. So he sat there and watched the Patriots unravel this Dolphins football team. Does it mean the Dolphins are going to go back to being the way they were before the coaching change? No, it just means they're not as good as everybody thought. You can stop with the whole Dan Campbell parade that everyone was throwing him. They played the AFC South. They came back down to earth. Now I want to see how they rebound after this loss. Okay, so the Patriots, they tore you a new asshole. Great. Now I want to see how you respond after getting that new asshole torn. You've got 10 days to lick your wounds. We play next week. Let's see how you respond to the beatdown that you just suffered at the hands of the Patriots. For the Patriots, you're now 7-0. You get 10 days off. Next thing you know, you play the Redskins. You should be able to take care of business there. You feel good about yourself. You'll be 8-0, and then things start to get a lot tougher down the stretch. We'll see how this Patriots team handles going on the road. They just played 3 consecutive home games. Have the Patriots, or they will have after the Redskins game. They would have played the Jets, the Dolphins, and the Redskins in 3 consecutive home games. So you know they got some road games coming down the pipeline. So we'll see what the Patriots do. But that's the Thursday night matchup in a nutshell. Dolphins get dominated 36-7. They dropped to 3-4 in the season. Patriots remain perfect at 7-0. The first team to hit that 7-0 threshold this season. It happens in the National Football League, whether big or small. We covered all here in the lab room. Come back and join me as I continue to break down anything. And then, National Football League. See you tomorrow on those picks. There's plenty more where that came from. While you're here, subscribe to the channel. If you want more Louie T, be sure to follow me on Twitter at In the Lab Room, or you can like the Facebook page at In the Lab Room. That's In the Lab Room on Facebook and at In the Lab Room on Twitter. Don't forget, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so.
In the